Hey everybody, it's Kellen Nitro from Nitromaniac TV's wrestling channel, and today was the show of shows, Wrestlemania 34, April 8th, 2018, from the New Orleans Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, Louisiana. Here are my thoughts on what was a great card. First off, Matt Hardy winning the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal with a returning Bray Wyatt. That's a big thing for sure with the two that were feuding. We saw the Ultimate Deletion weeks ago, and now we're finally getting a little bit of a payback from it, seeing both of them become, I guess, a entity or a force. And I guess with Jeff being out for a little bit longer, especially with the DUI situation and that stuff, I think that means that Matt and Bray will probably be making a tag title run here soon on Raw. How interesting will that be? Well, wait until you hear what the tag champions are coming out on the Raw side at the end of the review. But you know what? I am very cool with Woken Matt and his Woken Warriors holding the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. If anything else, we're going to get some awesome vignettes out of it. Second match on the card was the finals of the Cruiserweight title tournament. Cedric Alexander and Mustafa Ali, a pre-show stealer to say the least. This match was amazing. Mustafa going for two 054s that, went to the well once too often, and then Cedric Alexander able to capitalize to become the new Cruiserweight champion for 205 Live. He's a first-time champion with that belt as well, too. I think that was the creative that we were going to see coming out of the Royal Rumble with Enzo Amore dropping the belt to Cedric. The problem was, of course, the whole Enzo Amore legal situation and what ended up happening afterwards as well, with the belt being vacated and then the whole reshuffle, the rebrand with Triple H taking over as a creative director on it and such. I'm very excited to see what that brand has to offer post-Mania, and hopefully this is the shot in the arm it needs. And hey, kids put on a hell of a match. Good stuff for both of them. The Women's Battle Royal came down to Sasha Banks and Bayley, and Bayley eliminated Sasha, and we thought, hey, great, Bayley's going to be the winner, but not so fast. Naomi came from out of nowhere and dumped Bayley over the top rope to the outside to become the inaugural Women's Battle Royal winner for WrestleMania. I'm not sure where this will fit in the lineage, because there has been some Diva Battle Royals in the past with WrestleMania, namely at 25 and 30 in the past. So I'm not sure if this will be classified as the third Women's Battle Royal to take place on a WrestleMania card, or if this is the first of a new lineage or whatever. But Naomi gets to walk around with the giant trophy that looks suspiciously like the women's reproductive organs. Fun. Woo! The Intercontinental title freeway kicked off the main show tonight with Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, and The Miz. And this was a great opening bout for the main pay-per-view for those who had just bought the pay-per-view or were checking it out in a movie theater or closed circuit at a bar or something along those lines. It was an awesome match amongst the three. Seth Rollins walking out with the Intercontinental Championship. Very nice. It was a really good match. It was kind of like an amped up television match between the three of them, and I enjoyed a lot of the ebb and flow of the match itself. So great opener. And one of the shockers that ended up being the match of the night, in my opinion, Charlotte Flair defeated Asuka via submission to retain her SmackDown Women's Championship. Fantastic match between both women. Again, a real back and forth match that led you to make it impossible for you to tell who was going to be a winner or who would lose in this situation. Does it help Asuka in the long run? I think it does, because now there's that unsurmountable mountain for her to try and topple. No doubt we're going to get a rematch off this somewhere down the line. And does Asuka finally get Charlotte in a rematch and get the title, or is this always going to be the thing that she has to try and chase down and everything? Streaks are made to be broken, and you know what? Her losing on the biggest stage like that, doesn't necessarily hurt, especially to a champion of that caliber of Charlotte, and it just adds to Charlotte's legacy as well. So kudos, great match all around, and match of the night for sure, in my opinion. Fatal 4-way match for the U.S. title, Jinder Mahal, Bobby Roode, Randy Orton, and Rusev for the U.S. title. Was a very passable television match. A lot of people were saying it was probably the worst match of the night. If it was, this would pass as a main event on any SmackDown show anywhere. Jinder Mahal walked out the U.S. champion. If you had checked out some of the rumor sites and that stuff, then you can tell that they were going to do kind of a heel U.S. championship program with Jinder, and this looks like to be the catalyst of it. So remains to be seen what happens going on down the road. But Jinder gets another belt, and over the course of the year, he's gone from being rehired, over the course of 2 years, I should say, he's gone from being rehired by WWE, a WWE champion, and now the United States champion. So, yeah, they're pushing him big time, especially going into the greatest Royal Rumble going on in Saudi Arabia at the end of the month. Yeah, that big 50-man thing that they were advertising on the network. So, remains to be seen what happens. We'll wait and see what does happen with Jinder. And they're not hindering Jinder anymore. He's got another belt. They're going to run with it. In the celebrity match where Ronda Rousey made her debut, it was Kurt Angle, Ronda Rousey versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. And, you know, for a celebrity match, very passable. It's going to take one of the on-roster women to make Rousey look like a badass. And while she did end up kind of establishing that aura that she could take on anybody, pairing her with a couple of quote-unquote legends in the match, as in Triple H and Kurt Angle, maybe not the best way to debut her. Kurt Angle looked old in the ring. I think that this is the first match I've seen him over a many-year period here where it's kind of looks like that the ring wars have caught up with him a little bit. Triple H, again, kind of slowed down, but yeah, Triple H and Kurt Angle were working a very slow, deliberate style, and it looked almost as if Angle was, 60 or 70 out there, unfortunately. The poor guy. Not Angle's best WrestleMania moment, but the man has had WrestleMania moments prior to, anyway, when he was younger and a lot quicker. Rousey, though, a good debut. It kind of teases you and makes you want to see Rousey McMahon, Stephanie McMahon one-on-one, and what would happen off of that. So maybe that's the direction they go with her. Or maybe we don't see Rousey now for a bit, and one of the girls from one of the brands takes a shot at her, maybe a Charlotte or a Sonya Deville or something like that going forward. So remains to be seen, but you know what? It was a very solid debut for Rousey. I think it's going to be a very cool career arc for her and a good little run here in WWE. SmackDown Tag Team titles, the Bludgeon Brothers squashed pretty much the Usos and the New Day. Easy to say here that the Bludgeon Brothers are the top tag team. Is there going to be an NXT call-up? Perhaps it's the Offers of Pain that go one-on-one with these guys. They can match power for power. We'll wait and see. After the Asuka Charlotte match, we had a referee run down to where John Cena was seated in the crowd, checking out the action, and that's because, again, he wasn't booked, and talked to him. And immediately Cena jumped the rail and ran to the back. So obviously that was, yo, Undertaker is here, we've seen him. Hits his music, comes down, there's a little bit of standing around, the lights go out, and it's Elias. Elias comes down, talks some smack towards Cena. Cena lays out Elias, and then starts walking to the back, and the lights go down again, and we finally get that John Cena Undertaker match that we were looking for here at WrestleMania 34. So, how was the match? As well as you could imagine a matchup between, a current part-timer and a Hall of Famer going. Very quick. Taker goes over. It was what it was. Worst match on the card, but it was just pure entertainment factor in the way. And you know what? For the story they were telling, adequate ending to the story. Daniel Bryan made his return to a WWE ring, the first time since 2015, where he teamed with Shane McMahon to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match was a great return for Daniel Bryan. They played the old injury angle. If you remember his WrestleMania 30 triple threat match, it was a spot where that was the RKO Batista bomb into the table that put Daniel Bryan out on a stretcher for a bit, and then he came back. Kind of a similar deal here where Kevin Owens nailed Daniel Bryan with the power bomb off the side of the apron and, incapacitated him for part of the match. But Bryan came back, and when he came back he did. Ended up winning the match with Shane McMahon. So now Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn are free agents. Well, they're not welcome back on SmackDown Live, so I think there's only one other spot for them. I think you'll see them either get drafted onto Monday Night Raw, or they'll show up on Monday Night Raw, maybe starting tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see. But, great match, great return for Daniel Bryan, and yeah, the yes chants are a thing still, and still happening. We have a brand new women's champion on Monday Night Raw, and her name is Nia Jax, as she defeated Alexa Bliss in a one-on-one encounter at WrestleMania. Well, she ragdolled Mickie James and pretty much salted away that threat early, but kudos to them for putting on a match. You look at this match on paper and you think, oh man, Nia's going to squash Alexa, and it's not even going to be close. Girls put on a heck of a match for sure. Alexa Bliss kind of looking like the second coming of Trish Stratus there a little bit as a female heel in the company now at this point and that stuff. So, hey, great match, fantastic, good storytelling match towards the latter end of the card. And the crowd was into it. The crowd was into Nia winning, so kudos to that. In a rematch from that Wrestle Kingdom match years ago, we had AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura going one-on-one for the WWE Championship. It was a great match, back and forth. We got a Shinsuke heel turn at the end after AJ won. It's going to be fun to see Shinsuke as a champion. Hey, no complaints. Thought it was a great match, a very different match from their Wrestle Kingdom match. It was a WWE match. So, hey, if you like your storytelling, it told a good story. So, and that's what they dictate, is kind of physical storytelling in WWE. So, great match. In the shocker of the night, Braun Strowman and an 11-year-old kid are the new tag team champions over the bar. The whole match had a weird vibe to it, starting with the bar walking out on a Mardi Gras float, throwing beads out to everybody and that stuff, which really didn't fit their character. Going into the ring, and then Strowman walking out, going into the crowd, picking a kid from the crowd, telling them to sit on the apron, and then, well, stand on the apron, I guess. You don't really sit on it. And Strowman went in and effectively won the match single-handedly. It was a handicap match, but he walked out with the tag team titles with an 11-year-old kid. Now it remains to see if this 11-year-old kid will still be for the tag team champions. But, that's definitely creative. I did not see coming. We'll have to wait and hear what the stories are off of this. It's a thing. It happened. Don't necessarily agree with it, but it's the WTF factor of the night. Let me just put it that way. And in the main event, Brock Lesnar hard way busts open Roman Reigns in the main event, splits him from an elbow strike, and proceeds to get a victory over Roman Reigns. So Roman still hasn't toppled the Beast yet, and so going forward, does he get another crack at Lesnar, or does Lesnar move on and Roman move on a different brand, perhaps, maybe going to SmackDown Live or something? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see going forward. But that main event, a lot of people are saying that's the weakest part of the card was the main event. I think after the WTF factor of the Raw Tag Team title match, I think it left a lot of people scratching their head, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it was a good thing, and it definitely makes people tune in. I know that Raw will probably be one of the more highly anticipated Raws in recent memory. I can't wait to see what they do with the tag titles, where they go with Roman from there. If Nia and Alexa are going to have a rematch immediately, probably will be, because that's the champion's prerogative to have a rematch right after losing the title like that, or former champion, I should say. And do Kevin and Sami show up on Monday Night Raw tomorrow night and start creating havoc? And who are the NXT call-ups? We all know that there are always NXT call-ups after WrestleMania. What brands do they show up on? Hey, the Raw after Mania is always one of the rowdiest of the year. We'll wait and see what happens. Time for my rating out of 10 for the show. I'll give this year's WrestleMania 34, from the Superdome in New Orleans, a mighty 7.5 out of 10. I think it was a very middle of the road to exceptional at certain points WrestleMania. My favorite match of the night, of course, was Charlotte and Asuka. Did not expect that ending. That was awesome. And I think being the worst match of the night, Cena Taker, and it being nice and short was a good thing. So, anyways, I'm Kellen Nitro. Thank you very much for tuning in. Nitromaniac TV, tinyurl.com/Nitromaniac TV. For more, follow me on Twitter at Kellen Nitro, and we'll catch you guys later on. Later days, and happy wrestling watching. And yeah, Mania's in the books for another year. Moving on.